Hey guys, it's Tiara, and today is going to be a story time. I know this was a makeup channel before, but that takes a lot of work, and I'm kind of gonna just switch it over and act like that never happened. So, I have been watching Tana on YouTube for the past few days, and I just realized that story times are like my favorite thing to watch. And she had like a lot of videos about her stalker. So I was like, oh my gosh, I have one of those, so maybe I should do a story time on that. So yeah, I guess we're just gonna jump right into the story. So, this was at my job. This is the only place like I ever saw him or he ever came. He never like really followed me around, and he didn't like break into my house or anything like that. But he was just very creepy and gave a very creepy vibe. So the first day I met him, I was working with my manager, but my manager's like in the back or on the floor doing whatever. So I was behind the counter by myself, and this guy comes in and he's just like selling these movies. So I'm bringing him in, and he like wanted me to tell him like what each price was of each movie, and he brought in a lot. And like whenever one was like under like a quarter, he like took it back or whatever. So I finish it, and like I tell him like the total and stuff, and like as I'm about to finish like ringing him out, my manager like comes to the counter just because he was done with whatever he was doing. So I give the guy like his money and whatever, and he was like, I hope I get you every time. And I'm just like, and my manager probably gave him the dirtiest look. I didn't see it, but he probably gave him a nasty look because he was like, 'cause she's nice. And my manager was like, yeah, alright. And so it was just like super awkward. I was just like creeped out, like, because this guy, like, even just looking at him, like, he looked creepy. But I'm not one to judge by looks, so like it was like whatever. But then like the movies that he brought in were like those horror movies, but like they're not really horror movies. It's just like naked girls running around and get tortured, like, you know, those kind of movies, you know what I'm talking about. So that on top of that was like, oh, like I'm uncomfortable, you know. So yeah, and then like I didn't work full-time, I worked part-time, so I was only there like 2 or 3 days a week. And like I guess apparently this guy like kept coming in, and every time he came in, he would ask for me. And he would be like, where's the cute little blonde girl at? Which, like, you guys know I used to be blonde, obviously. He's like, where's the cute little girl at? And, like, just stuff like that. And he literally kept coming in, like, so much. And he would ask that every time and just, like, annoy the people there, like, asking them about me. So, like, they had to tell the guy, oh, she doesn't work here anymore. And, like, yeah, that's funny, like, to say, but, like, he's bound to come in when I'm there. So I was like, oh god, it's gonna be so bad, like, when he actually sees me here. So, which, of course, that did happen, obviously. So he comes in and he's like, oh, I thought you didn't work here anymore. And I was like, oh, like, I just went on vacation, like, I'm back now, whatever. And at this time, my boyfriend had just given me, like, a promise ring, so I was wearing it, like, on my finger. And he was like, is that a promise ring or are you engaged? Like, he literally seemed like so like upset and like literally like so curious about it. I'm like, no, it's just like a promise ring. And he was like, oh, does your boyfriend treat you good? And he's like literally like asking all these questions about my boyfriend. I'm just like, yeah, it's great, like, yeah, it's cool, whatever. And so that was that I remember from that time. Actually, no, I remember he said this. He was like, oh, well, you deserve so much. You deserve to be treated so good. So, like, I hope your boyfriend does that, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, yeah, okay, great, leave, like, bye. So, yeah, that was that time. He's coming in multiple times, so these are just, like, a bunch of little stories about all my, like, interactions with him. So, he literally makes me so uncomfortable to the point, like, with like whoever I'm working with, and he comes in, they have to drop whatever they're doing and like ring him out, because like I'm not going to do it. He literally makes me so uncomfortable. He makes me nauseous. He makes me anxious. Like, I literally hate like talking to him or like even being in the same like room with him. So Jeff and Mackenzie at this time were like the, sorry, my laptop. Jeff and Mackenzie were the people that like I worked with the most at this time. And Jeff was always on it. He was so quick. I would not even see this guy walk in. Like, Jeff would just turn to me and be like, hey, can you go finish that? And I'm like, sure, yeah, why? And then, like, I would look over and he's, like, ringing out my stalker. I'm just like, oh, like, I didn't even see him come in. Like, Jeff is on it. And so is Mackenzie. Like, whenever he came in, she would literally dart and be like, hi, I can help you. Like, so, yeah, they're so awesome. So this time, he came in and... like, Mackenzie was at the register that's right in front of the door. And I'm to the one on the side, like, but I'm not even paying attention. Mackenzie's like, hi, I can help you right here. And he literally totally ignores her, walks right by her, and goes all the way to the side where I am. And he starts sitting down his stuff. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, because I get so nervous. Like, I don't want to talk to him. Like, I don't want to interact with him at all. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. But Mackenzie, oh my gosh, she is so funny. She still comes over and she just starts going through his stuff. Like, dude, like, you're not slick. Like, you're not gonna get around this. Like, whatever. So Mackenzie starts doing it, and in my head, I'm just like, thank you, Mackenzie. Like, yes. So yeah, that was that. And, but like, it doesn't matter, like, who's ringing him out, because he still, like, tries to talk to me, like, oh, I haven't seen you in a while. How are you? And it's just like, dude, like, just leave me alone. And at this point, this was after the promise ring one, so, like, I wasn't wearing my promise ring just because, like, I have the tiniest fingers, and my ring was literally the smallest size that Pandora has. But it would still, like, it wouldn't fall off, but it would, like, move around a lot, and, like, it fell off a couple times, like, when I was in the drawers at work. So I just stopped wearing it to work because I didn't want to lose it. I am prone to, like, losing things, so it's like, I'm not losing this. Like, I'm just not going to wear it to work. So, of course, he's like, oh, did you and your boyfriend break up? And I'm like, no, like, I just didn't want to lose my ring at work. Thank you. And so, yeah, Mackenzie, like, did her thing, and she, like, rang him out, whatever. That was that. And now I just have one more story about him, and I wasn't even working at the time. It's just what he said about me to my best friend Natalie while she was working. So I pulled up, like, in the parking lot in my car for my shift, and he had just walked in, and Natalie's ringing him out. Apparently he sees me get out of my car and start walking towards the door, like walking through the parking lot, and he turns to Natalie and was like, she's just the cutest thing ever. And I'm just like when Natalie told me that, I'm like, he's literally like 40, like in his 40s, maybe 50, I'm not quite sure. Like, ugh, so nasty. I don't know what that noise was, but like, ugh, so gross. Like, ugh. So yeah, that is the last story that I have. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. Like, some of my coworkers are like, who work with me, they might come back and tell me, oh, like, remember this time, because I probably forgot something. So maybe I'll make a part 2 if, like, I missed anything, or I'll add it in one of my other story times if I did forget anything. But that is the story of my stalker. He never threatened me or, like, followed me, like I said, or, like, did anything crazy like that, but he just would literally, like, just come see me at work and just tell me, like, creepy things, and it always had a creepy vibe. So that is the story of my creepy stalker. I hope you guys liked it, and if you want to see more story times, then just give this a thumbs up, because it's actually fun to make. So yeah, I hope you guys like this. Subscribe if you haven't already, and other than that, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.